Joining me now is New York Times journalist Robert Draper. Welcome, Robert. Let's take a look. About 140 people or so involved in this Project 2025. They are former Trump administration officials. But you've seen Trump recently trying to distance himself from the Heritage Foundation and its policy blueprint. I'm going to play some newly discovered video of Trump from 2022, which appears to repudiate his claim that he, quote, knows nothing about Project 2025 and who's behind it. Take a listen.
Heritage does such an incredible job, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
That wasn't very long ago. Why is Trump now attempting to disavow this group and its plans for a second term?
Sure. And Alex, just so your viewers know, Project 2025 is the brainchild of the Heritage Foundation, the conservative think tank that Trump was referencing just then. He's trying to distance himself from it, I think, for a couple of reasons. One is political and the other is personal. The political reason is because he knows that there are some pretty strident things in there relating to the gutting of the federal bureaucracy, relating to defunding the abortion pill, to slashing funding for green energy. And he's concerned that that might alienate suburban voters. And so he would rather get by with the minimum. That's the political end of it. The personal end of it is that President Trump likes to take credit for the things that emanate from his administration or from his campaign. He wants people to believe that everything came from him, and he doesn't like the idea of anyone else getting credit for his policy notions. And so once he does have policies in place, he'll claim full credit for them, and he doesn't want it to look like that someone is stage whispering exactly what his administration is going to be propounding.
Yeah, but the Heritage Foundation, to your point, it has shaped the policies of Republican administrations since, what, the Reagan presidency. But then if you look at 2025, it contains positions much further right than previous administrations. Give us an example of some of its most extreme proposals, who they would impact, and is the Biden campaign accurate when it calls the project an authoritarian blueprint?
Sure. Well, I mean, you mentioned a couple of them yourself, but, to reiterate the basically eliminating the Department of Education, there's more insidious stuff, too, relating to gutting the federal bureaucracy, but also so-called depoliticizing the intelligence community and, for that matter, using the Department of Justice as a weapon, basically, to go after, to enable a president such as Trump to go after his opponents. And so this is something that we've never seen before. And you're certainly correct that the Heritage Foundation has played a role in a lot of conservative presidencies, most recently Donald Trump's. In 2017, they played a very big role in staffing kind of middle management. And so for him to suggest that he's got nothing to do with this, despite the fact that 140 or so former Trump administration staffers have worked on this, is a bit disingenuous.
Yeah. This week you have the Republican National Committee, which has adopted Trump's platform as its 2024 policy platform as we go into the convention on Monday. And you write about that, saying the barely 15-page document reads like a transcript from a Trump rally, opening with 20 statements, including stop the migrant invasion, end inflation, keep men out of women's sports. Are the RNC platform and Project 2025 similar in tone or detail at all?
They're somewhat similar in tone, but in detail, they couldn't be more different, at least insofar as the platform is a so-called short form. The last Republican platform we saw was written in 2016, and it was something like 67 pages. And this is less than 1/4 of that amount, and very deliberately so, and much to the consternation, particularly of social conservatives, people in the anti-abortion movement, who wanted to see very, very strong language and very unambiguous language supporting the pro-life movement. That's not in there. And there also isn't a whole lot of language in the Project 2025 document relating to abortion. There's some, but again, the people who crafted Project 2025 are prominent social conservatives like Ross Vought, who was the head of Office of Management and Budget in the Trump administration, and his feelings regarding abortion are quite clear.
The RNC platform, though, why is it so deliberately vague? Is there something more sinister behind it? I think it is just the word abortion appears once in that whole RNC platform.
Sure. Well, again, there were something like, I think, 112 representatives from all of the states and territories who gathered in Milwaukee to sit down for a couple of days and produce a document. And basically 1 hour after they sat down, they were handed a document, in other words, a cake that was already baked, and basically said, here's the platform. We're about to vote on it. And it was quite shocking to a lot of them who were expecting to see very specific language. But Alex, I mean, the direct answer to your question is, the Trump campaign wants to get by with the minimum. They don't want to have a document that would circulate that they can't distance themselves from. They're attempting to distance themselves from Project 2025 and have a certain plausible deniability insofar as it wasn't written by the campaign the way the platform was. Though, again, it's a bit specious to be suggesting that there's no association whatsoever. The platform, though, is clearly tied to the Trump administration, to the Trump campaign. So they wanted to have a very small document that basically wouldn't give anyone, anything to weaponize against them.
One major concern is this shakeup of the federal workforce, making it more loyal to Donald Trump. Do you have expectations that members of the Heritage Foundation could find their way into positions within the Trump administration?
I don't just have expectations or suspicions. I'm confident that they will. That happened the last time. There's no in 2017, and they were quite proud of the fact. I mean, their PAC arm, Heritage Action, the people in charge of it were very proud in saying to me the very direct role that they had in placing some of their own in that administration. There's absolutely no reason to believe that there won't be more of the same.
Robert Draper, great article. Come see us again. Thank you so much.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.